What it is, Brad Lee back again with another episode of Dropping Bombs. Today, folks, Dropping Bombs has a special supporter, has a special sponsor. I went ahead and said, sure, I'd love to support Manscaped. So now, this episode is brought to you by Manscaped. You know, Manscaped is the reason I picked this particular guest. This fella's a little bit of a woolly creature. Not only that, he's a red woolly creature. He's a what we call ginger. What's funny about being a ginger, as they say, is one thing. If you're a good-looking ginger, it's like frickin' a rarity. Is it not?
It absolutely is. Hey, you know, it absolutely
Ian
is.
Wendt in the house, folks. What's up, Ian? How's that for an opening?
What's up, dude?
You're a good-looking ginger.
I am just honored that I could be on the episode that's sponsored by Clean Shaven Balls. Can I just say that?
Well, I can tell you right now, bro. Listen, I don't do sponsors, but when Manscaped asked, I'm like, dude, I'll do that. Why? Because I believe that I don't care how cool and tough you are, whether you're a patriot or a lion, not sheep, or, you know, whatever you are, you know, whatever you believe, dude, chicks don't want a big woolly, musky mess. Period. So like, I've always been a believer in manscaping. I don't like, you know, go get freaking waxes or anything stupid like that, but like, you know, reach down and freaking get it mowed at least. Like,
well, that's
mow
what,
it down.
isn't that what it's called? The mower, isn't it? I have it. I believe it's called the mower.
Shit,
I have
dude,
the.
you're a perfect guest.
I have the mower 2.0.
Okay, well, dude, let me tell you something. If anybody listening wants the mower 2.0 or the weed whacker or whatever the hell they're calling their things, I highly recommend Manscaped because it's specifically for
Mowing
the below the waist grooming. Okay, because dude, I have regular clippers. And I've tried to use those clippers before Manscaped.
That's dangerous.
Well, dude, no matter what, you're going to get a little nick. Okay? It's going to nick the nuts.
That's not fun.
You're going to have a freaking little damaged beanbag if you don't freaking at least invest in the right gear. And it's amazing how well the gear works. Waterproof, all that shit. Do it in the shower if you want to, but at the end of the day, dude, I highly recommend anyone listening.
Didn't they go on like Shark Tank and stuff too? I'm pretty sure they did.
I don't know, dude. I just know it's a cool name. That's what I call it, manscaping. Yeah. So like it's a kick-ass brand, and I'm thinking, dude, I believe in this, so I'm going to go ahead and let them sponsor the show.
There you go.
Why? Well, dude, I totally believe any dude should be trimming the forest. And I'll bet you women believe that too. Period. I mean, I ain't talking.
Mine does.
I ain't talking smooth like that. I don't know about smooth or anything, but like there needs to be some proof.
Maintenance.
You know,
clean.
Exactly. You want to make it like a freaking, you know, something inviting. Not where they're scared to freaking migrate. So, folks, trim your balls, okay? Don't be walking around all wild and woolly. Don't be trying to be George W. Okay, you know George W.? What's his last name?
Bush.
You don't want to be all fucking Bushmeister. Trim your shit. And if you do, by the way, folks, decide you want to use proper tools, then just go to manscaped.com, put in bombs for the code, and you'll get 20% off plus free shipping, save you some coinage, and you'll do your future people a little bit of freaking props. And by the way, like again, women, you guys can get your man the same thing by entering bombs and just leave it for them and hint if I'm not lying. If you got one of those dudes that are like, you know, bringing it down to the freaking skin, well, then have them listen to Dropping Bombs because that's not okay either. You know, you definitely don't want to have a baby smooth, penis, as they call them in school. This is why I agreed to do this. This is why I said
if they
yes.
don't call you and have some of those voiceovers for their commercials, they're losing out on a whole lot of money.
Dude, this is the only reason I said, yeah, I'll take a sponsor, dude. It's Manscaped, and I get to say balls and nick your nuts and all the freaking crazy shit, and I can lower my voice and talk about fucking woolly dick. Like, dude, listen, I understand. Calm down. Trimmer down. Mower down. Get the right utensils. End of the old woolly mammoth beginning. But thank you, Manscaped, for the donation, and I appreciate it. And people in the Bomb Squad, as I said, go to manscaped.com, get your man some gear or get yourself some gear. Manscaped.com, put the code in, bombs, and you'll get 20% shipping. Anyway, Ian Wendt, folks, you guys might have known him. He's been on a previous episode because he was somewhat of a sales expert, supposedly.
Somewhat.
I tested him. He knows his shit a little bit, but he became so good at entrepreneurialism, he decided to freaking quit that job, quit working for somebody else, and start his own company. So he started Official Patriot Gear. You guys might know him as Wenster on Instagram. You can go follow him there. He's one of those fellas that believe, Biden is a robot, or, what is it? Biden's a robot, or he's a hologram, like Trump's still president and just nobody knows. And
no, I think, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised with anything. That's what I keep on saying. Nothing surprises me anymore. But I think at this point, it's easy to say that right now we just have a president that is off his rocker and can't finish a sentence. But we for sure have a president that is that's a fact. Now,
that's your president, son.
Well, I mean,
Joe Biden is my president.
Right now, Joe Biden is.
He is.
Unfortunately.
He is. Now, you can say he is the president.
He's the president.
He may not be my president because, again, Trump ain't my president. Nobody's my president. Dude, Trump was America's president, the president of the United States. He was the president. He was never my president.
No.
I don't have a president.
Well,
do you have a president?
No.
Who's in charge of you? Is your wife your president?
My wife's my president.
Right.
Yeah. But that's the thing. That's what I feel like a lot of people, it's interesting you bring this conversation up because I was definitely a Trump supporter, and I still am, because I believe that Trump cared about America. I actually believe that he was the first in a long line that actually...
Did he, though?
Yeah, I think so. I think he put America first. But...
before who, though? You put it first before what?
Before
him?
No, just before everything else. As far as, he wanted to make sure that we as an American people were taken care of, that America was truly great. The MAGA thing.
I agree.
Yeah, like MAGA, I think people think, and this is what I'm getting at, they think MAGA was like the Trump thing. MAGA wasn't the Trump thing. If anything, MAGA is a movement that has now continued with people who have finally seen the importance of putting America first.
And folks that are living under a rock, MAGA is Make America Great Again, which I couldn't ever see why anyone would be against that as an American citizen.
Blows my mind. Well, and I mean, that's the thing.
You don't want to make America great again? The reason I was not totally for it when he came out with that slogan is because, dude, America's already great.
It's true.
Like, make it great again. It's already great. It's not ungreat. In order to make it great again, it had to cease being great, and it's never stopped being great.
That's a fair point.
And that's, my friend, what I call patriotism.
Yeah, and that's the thing, too, is I think a lot of people, and especially in this last election, they and I've talked about this a lot, they've put their faith and all of their, just everything into one man. My faith is not in one man or one presidency.
Well, thank God.
My patriotism is not because of one president or one presidency. It's
can I interrupt?
Absolutely.
You should retract what you just said.
What? Which one? Which part?
Say it again. What you just said.
I said a lot. My faith was never in one man or one presidency.
One man or one presidency.
Yeah.
You should retract the first part.
That it wasn't in one man?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because it should be in one man.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, my faith is in God. My faith.
But listen, first of all, God cannot be called a man. That's a deity.
True.
Okay.
That's why I said it's not one man.
So I know, but like there's people listening that don't understand, dude. All your faith should be in one man. It just shouldn't be Trump or Biden or anybody.
Yeah.
It should be in yourself. Like you need to learn that only you are in possession of the power that can change your whole life, and most people don't get it. So when you said that, it just made me want to use that example to ring true, to drop a bizzle.
There you go.
Folks need to know that, dude.
And I like that too, because that is actually kind of the message that needs to be, not kind of, it is the message that needs to be sent, which is, if I can't tell you how many people messaged me after the election and was like, what do we do now? What's going to happen? It's just like, you're going to live your life. You're going to keep taking care of yourself. You're going to keep winning at life, no matter who's the president. At the end of the day, life doesn't stop because the president that you wanted to be president isn't the president anymore. Like that's just not how it works. And so when you say put your faith in yourself, that's 100% the truth. But too many people, I feel like, didn't with this past election and with all the stuff that went down. They didn't put their faith in themselves. They put their faith in one man and one presidency. It was like, this has to happen or all hell's going to break loose.
They believe the hype.
For sure.
See, that's another thing. If the Republicans win, the Democrats are going to burn it down. And if the Democrats win, there's going to be a civil war. Mm-hmm. Folks, I don't know if you've looked around lately, but there's no civil wars.
Yeah.
Nobody's burning shit down.
Well,
it's because all of the frenzy prior to the election, dude, they work us all into a lather.
A lot of misinformation. Very
so
true.
Who do you know? And by the way, if you follow me on social media, and you should, you'll hear my commentary from day one is, dude, both sides are out for themselves. They're us, the little people, the citizens, the citizenry of the United States are not freaking factored, dude.
They don't.
Those lawmakers don't even have to live by the same laws they're making for everybody else. Like, that's common sense stupidity. But who gets to decide whether they have to or not? They do. Why? Well, because we elect them, and then they've got the power. So we elect them as our voice, but we're not heard because we're not collective. We're independent, and we're individuals, and we're separated, and we're diverse, and we're freaking kept apart and kept fighting. So we all cannot unite because literally, if you look at the Constitution, dude, it's we the people.
The people, yes.
Now, we the people, there's no we anymore.
No, and that is the problem. So that you nailed it on the
I
head.
wish I could unite
drop that bomb.
Everybody.
That's it. Like that.
Yeah, but it's an impossibility. Like, I like to say, well, dude, I don't want to be limited thinking. Dude, if you think you can unite everybody in the United States to have one voice, you're nuts. But if you did, you'd be in the fucking boss seat. You know why? Because, dude, we the people do run shit. Problem is there is no we. It's us and them. Me and you.
Yep.
Her and him. It's not. There's no we anymore. They've kept us from being a we because they know the one thing that can freaking take them down is we.
Well, and that's why there's no. That's why real change can't happen, because at the end of the day, it's exactly like you said. And this is what frustrates me the most, is there's so much misinformation going around at that time. And you're right. It was from both sides. Both sides. Oh, for sure is. But both sides had an agenda, and the agenda was never the people, and it never has been. And the problem is, for example, you take the Capitol riot, right? You have so many people that are like, well, why didn't that do anything? Or why didn't that make a change? Well, there's a reason.
Why would bombarding a freaking public building make a change?
It's not even just that, though. Think about it this way, right? Far right conservatives were the ones who stormed that Capitol, right? So at the end of the day, supposedly, yeah, supposedly.
We don't know,
but that's what they're painting it as.
Yeah, but it could have been freaking some sort of what's the Antifa?
Well,
dressed up in Trump hats to make Trump's people and his train look stupid,
which is far more probable.
Which, by the way, was an accusation that's flown around. But again, nobody knows.
Nobody knows anything, and I always say that.
Just like George Soros pays the Antifa, and they got footage of them saying, "Where's our money, George?" And then, it's like, well, maybe that was doctored, maybe that was faked. Don't people realize that the media
controls
dictate
it all.
Whatever narrative they want?
If the media is the enemy, that is.
Well, they want you to click, and they want drama, and they want freaking headlines to be sold, and they want eyeballs.
Yep.
Most people say, "Well, what's the advantage of doing it, dude?" The news could have the straight advantage, of freaking controlling the narrative.
Yep. Well, and
swaying a vote.
Yeah. So go back to the Cap. So this is what I was saying with the Capitol, though.
Riling people up.
Yeah, they look at that as the only thing that the news and the media painted that as is basically one side is pissed off they didn't get their way, and so they're acting like a bunch of babies. And that's the reason why that will never. The only way that we make a change as a people is if it's not just the right coming, rebelling and going against and being pissed off. It's got to be everybody pissed off collectively saying, okay, enough is enough with this nonsense. This is not what we want.
But who's going to run it? Who's going to fix it?
I mean, that's the problem, right? The problem is there's too big of government.
No, the problem is Trump was in there.
Yeah, but it was still big government.
I know, but like he was brash and people didn't like his personality.
Yeah.
A lot of people liked his policy, but not his personality.
He was polarizing.
Right. So he can't do it. And then, now you got Biden in there, and I don't understand how anybody voted for Biden. I think more importantly, people just didn't vote for Trump. Because dude, it was clear. There wasn't doctored footage. Somebody's Trump and I got hairy legs and all that weird shit. He's mentally in decline. Why would we elect a president who's clearly and visually, mentally in decline? We wouldn't if we were smart. So that part, I don't fully understand how that happened until I thought maybe they just didn't want Trump so bad anybody would have been voted for.
Well, and dude, think about this. Okay, this is actually something. Think about what happened those 4 years that he was in presidency. He was literally the subject of the news and the media every single day in and day out. But it wasn't just that though. It was they painted him as a villain and as a racist and as a this and as a that for 4 straight years. And the fact is,
yeah, but dude, listen. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
He was the president, correct?
Yeah.
Well, then why couldn't he create his own network where there was no manipulation? Didn't think of it?
I wish I had the answer.
You didn't think of it?
Possibly. Well, you have Newsmax, you have OAN, but even those.
Dude, maybe it's possible, just possible.
Yeah.
That he ain't the good guy either.
Oh, I'm not saying he's the good guy. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah, but like they're saying everybody's twisting Trump. Okay, listen. If Trump wanted to, he's the president. He'd turn on a news feed and do a direct address to the union, and then the media couldn't manipulate because it's a live stream to anyone who wanted to watch it. Now again, there's a lot of people say, "Screw Trump, I ain't watching that," but it would have been streamed and everyone would have saw it and everyone would have recorded it, and it couldn't have been manipulated after that. So the whole manipulation, they're manipulating everything. The media is the enemy. No, the media realizes, are you going to watch the news, glued to the TV if at the Capitol building it was just a bunch of people holding up signs?
No, of course not.
No, dude. So fuck, how do we incite some sort of riot? Well, put a fucking Trump hat on and storm that building.
Yep.
I'll give you $10,000 and bail you out. I guarantee you won't have any problems in life if you do this.
And then we'll run that story for the next few weeks.
And then, dude, I saw video of my own eyes of police letting them in. Okay, so then they didn't storm the building. I watched them get let in.
They didn't just let them in. They walked them upstairs.
All I'm saying is I saw that with my own eyes. That wasn't doctored footage.
No.
So the police let some people in the building.
Yeah.
So that's not storming.
No.
And then again, I also saw some footage of 2 guards coming in. The one dude with the woolly the Mel Gibson, look.
The horns and everything.
Yeah, what's that movie Mel Gibson was in? Where he was Wallace.
Braveheart.
Yeah, Braveheart. He's all Bravehearted up, sitting in that chair. Remember?
Yeah.
And there was a dude down below with a cut leg or something. And
on the phone.
And the 2 Capitol Police
were just walking around,
strolling
and
chit-chatting, saying, "Hey, do me a favor if you can. Don't hurt anything. This is the most sacred of places."
And
the guy says, "Yeah, no problem. Do you need anything?" And they're like, This is what the fuck is going on,
and
dude? This is not storming a building.
And you probably didn't catch this, but they made sure that in that footage they caught the guy saying, "Oh, you're an effing patriot." They made sure that they got that on camera of that guy, dressed as Braveheart or whatever, telling that guard, "Oh, you're a patriot." Why do you think that's the case?
Because they let them in. Because they were cooperating. Well, they were not against them. That's why.
It's not just that though, and this is what I think I want my message to kind of be moving forward. Not kind of be moving forward is the media is and the people are starting to paint the word patriot and somebody who loves America as a bad thing. And honestly, Trump...
Patriot's a bad thing?
It's starting to get to a point where people look at patriots as like only far-right conservatives and Trumpers. And the fact is, that's not the case. I have tons of friends who are liberal and who are Democrat, who are patriots, that if the fire started, they would run in.
What fire?
I mean,
but what does that mean? Okay, because again, this is why patriots mean something.
Patriot to me means that you love the country you live in. You love the people that live there, and you would do anything to defend it and keep it in a safe and good state.
Okay, good.
And it's not just American.
Then how's that a bad thing?
Well, it's not. And that's my point. It's not a bad thing, but the media is painting it as a bad thing because of this whole Trump thing, because Trump said the word patriot over and over and over. And so it's like, oh, we can paint his followers, we can paint the right as these crazy...
But the election's over now, so why are they continuing?
Because the more that they can do that, the more that they can demonize one side, the more that they can divide us, the weaker we are. The weaker we are and the more susceptible to everything else. Yeah.
That's the truth.
And that's what's been going on.
And by the way, like, I don't know if this will be the most shared episode or the most avoided episode. Why? Well, because, dude, like, if you ask me, this shit's starting to get old. Meaning, the election's over. Fucking Democrats are running shit for a while. And by the way, that's another thing, dude.
Yeah.
Democrats are apparently more powerful because all these conspiracies always say they, and it's the Democrats and the evil cabal. Well, apparently, dude, they're in charge. Right? They win.
I mean, it is pretty.
I mean, they wouldn't let us in to count votes. Why were the Democrats always in control? We got screwed. They didn't let us count the votes. And by the way, I saw footage. That seems to be true. Well, who's the Democrats that got to decide the Republicans aren't allowed to watch the votes? Like, why wouldn't the Republicans be saying Democrats aren't allowed? Yeah. Like, why were the Democrats running these centers?
Again, I go back to what I was going to say before, which is I think that they painted. I mean, what I meant by manipulating with the Trump thing is just, for example, the Charleston stuff, right? Where they talked about how Trump was a racist because he said that neo-Nazis were very fine people. That wasn't the case at all. If you go actually read the script, if you go watch the full video, he said in his own words, I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis. I'm not talking about the white supremacists. There were very fine people over there, and it was completely taken out of context. But like you said, with Biden, you're not taking anything out of context. The dude literally says what he says, and it is black and white. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. But that's the thing. The media made it seem like for 4 years they doctored that stuff whenever Trump, and I'm not saying Trump didn't ever say anything stupid and that he wasn't an idiot, because at the end of the day, I think Trump was an idiot for a lot of reasons. He was a great president, but he made a lot of stupid decisions and he was super polarizing. But the fact is,
he had good policy.
He had great policies. He took care of us.
So I think we need to separate what people understand. Like when you say Trump was a great president and there's haters, they just they won't hear it. They will not hear that.
I know, and it's crazy.
So when you say he made some good policy, meaning business decisions to where our country actually started to strengthen in certain areas. Yeah. However, I never know what to believe. I've heard, oh man, he's doing this and he's doing that and he's doing this. And then on the other hand, well, you know that's going to freaking cause, this and this. Mm-hmm. And it's like, oh shit, I didn't know that. Like, there's got to be a truth to everything. Totally. Like, for example, the XL pipeline.
Yep.
Oh, that canceled 10,000 jobs and blah, 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 blah.
No, it canceled millions of
jobs. I know,
jobs.
but when I talked to Dan Crenshaw, he believes, he's a Republican out of Texas.
Yeah, I know
congressman.
Crenshaw. Yep.
He believes that now not only are we out of all those jobs, but now oil will be moved more hazardously. It's going to cause more problems by not doing the pipeline, because the pipeline was like clean, zero emission.
It was one of the cleanest. Yeah.
Yeah. So again, the damage of not doing it outweighs doing it. So why would someone come in and say we're not putting in the pipeline? What's their thinking, though?
For a win. That's what it
is.
Not
for a win. What's their thinking? There
is no thinking.
How come we all can't agree? Why do Republicans and Democrats not agree on the simplest of shit?
So that's what I was, man, I've been talking about this a ton on my platform, but basically it comes down to this. And
by the way, if someone wants to know, I'm a Republicrat, meaning I'm in the middle. Like there's some things that I believe, like welfare. The Democrats, they think everybody deserves everything.
Yeah.
I do believe that we should take care of our weak and our old and our hungry, but literally take care of our weak, old, and hungry, not cause people to be weak and hungry. And by giving people too much or allowing somebody sustenance that is then turned into freaking drugs and or alcohol and we're fueling stupidity and we're causing people to be unemployed, have more kids unemployed,
depression, suicide,
because it's a paycheck.
Yeah.
Like we don't want to put out welfare programs that cause people to be out of work.
Right.
But if they are out of work, we should work on. I believe we should make sure there's nobody hungry in fucking America. Like what the hell? Now some Republicans, well, hey, get up and work. Well, dude, that's easy for a lot of people to say, like me, and I agree. Get up, do your own thing. Bail yourself out. No one's coming to save you. But again, I'm a little on both sides. So I'm a Republicrat. Is there such a thing?
I mean, you just invented it. I would say this too. I think a lot of people also view me as like a far right conservative, and it's just not the truth. Anybody that actually knows me knows that I'm definitely right leaning, but I'm also pretty close to the middle. And what I would just say
I'm right leaning more than left leaning.
Yeah. And but what I would say is you look at what's going on right now and let's just take it from the beginning. Okay. Let's just take it from the beginning. Think about the ways that, the media, the politicians, the cabal, whatever you want to call it, have effectively divided us as a nation, right?
Supposedly.
I mean, but it's not supposedly though. Look at our country. Our country is more divided than it has ever been.
Yeah, but it's not they that did it. It's we that did
it. No, it is we, but it's because of, I believe that it's because they knew that we would react in certain ways.
Who's they though?
Yeah, I don't know if you want to get into that.
Well, again, I mean, fuck, I ain't afraid. I tell you that, but black helicopter going to follow me home.
Here's what I believe.
All I'm saying is this: I keep shit real. Ian, you know me.
Oh, I know.
And when the bomb squad's listening, I make sure that they know. Like if I bring someone on a show and they're selling a product, I tell people, dude, I ain't never taken this fucking product, but if you like what you're hearing, go get it. So why? Well, because I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
So when people are asking me about this politics shit, here's what I tell people. It doesn't matter who's president. I would prefer Trump being president. I don't think Biden should have been elected. I'll say that. If someone doesn't like it, I'm sorry. But guess what? Why? It's not based on, policy. It's based on the dude's not fit mentally to run one of the most powerful countries on earth. Yeah. He's not fit mentally. How do I know? Watch him. He's trying to remember what he said. He called himself the vice president, he called Kamala Harris President Harris.
Yeah.
And then in one part, he said he was running for Congress, I think. You've seen all the footage more than I have.
Yeah.
But I quit watching it, man. Everyone's like, well, what do you think? What do you think?
Well,
here's what I think.
Did you
Here's
see
what
the
I
newest
think.
stuff?
Yeah, but watch. Here's what I think. I think if this wasn't interesting and fun, I wouldn't even be talking about it. That's how much I think. Who gives a fuck, dude? Focus on your own problems and issues right there in your community and your neighborhood. You're not going to fucking change anything in Washington, D.C. unless you're in Washington, D.C. making those fucking laws. So again, if you are so upset and people want to be involved, run for fucking Congress, run for the office, go be in those rooms and holler and scream, going on social media, hollering and screaming. You're not doing anything. Nothing's going to happen.
And I would just say local government is a lot more effective and powerful than I think people think it is. And you can actually make a difference, but
we're gonna get a bunch of hate from this episode.
Who cares?
Because of our opinions.
I don't care. I would just say this. Look, at the end of the day,
I'm gonna tell them to shave their nuts. Every hater
just
comment,
shave your nuts.
Yeah, every hater comment. Get manscaped. Shave your nuts.
I would just say you look at the way that the media favors certain people and certain things and certain beliefs, the censorship, all this kind of stuff. I mean, dude, literally, I'm going to say it right now. Biden literally just said something that was completely racist. If Trump had said it, he would have been massacred for days. Biden said something that basically alluded to the fact that if you're black or Hispanic and live in rural areas, you're not smart enough to figure out how to set up an account on Walgreens. And it's like, dude,
that's what he said.
He said something to that effect. That's what he was alluding to. He was like, people in rural areas, and he was talking about Hispanics and black people. He's basically saying that they're
not in rural areas.
He was basically saying they don't have the ability to figure out how to set up an account. I know, but if you say
rural areas, dude, he's talking about hillbilly, redneck, dipshit, white trash, dum-dums.
But at the time, he wasn't. I can't remember which state he was talking about, but the state he was talking about was not alluding to that. I don't know. You'd have to go look at it, or we could pull it up, but he was definitely talking about minorities. 100%.
I know. Well, again, then it ain't rural, because when you go out in the rural,
maybe he said urban. He might have said urban.
Urban.
He might have said urban.
Would be more ethnic.
And I know the difference between the two. I'm just trying to remember what he said.
But usually, when you think of rural, dude, you're thinking of freaking Billy Bob and Jethro way out there freaking playing with the sheep when their parents aren't home.
But yeah, he said that, and I'm just like, dude, if this had happened with Trump, it would be all over every news station.
Hold on, just for the record. Yeah. By the way, I don't think that rural people are stupid. I don't want to be taken out of context. Like, I'm from the country. I'm from the
country too.
Yeah, like I'm rural. Yeah. I grew up rural. All I'm saying is
you're just saying that's what people think of.
Well, yeah. Just for the record.
But
because dude, how much you must get a lot of hate, because I follow you on social media. You're always talking about, right-leaning shit. You got to get the Democratic hate, don't you? You've been suppressed. You've been shadow banned.
Yeah, I've been shadow banned. I get a lot of hate. I get a lot of messages. I get a lot of people.
Any death threats?
No. Thank heavens. I will tell you this though. The one thing that has been pretty surprising is how many people how many people that are liberal and on the left who have actually had really, really good conversations with me. Because here's the thing. If you follow me closely, you know that my message is literally that it's not about what side you're on. Like, if I don't agree with what you say and I don't like what you say, I'm not going to cancel you as a person, because that's just stupid. And we live in a world right now where I feel like everybody is at the point where it's like, if I don't agree with you, unfollow. I'm not going to talk to you. I'm not even going to try and understand where you're coming from. I'm not going to like you as a person. I have a lot of friends that are really close to me who don't agree with 99% of the things that I agree with, but I'm still friends with them. Why? Because America was founded on difference. The Constitution and the Bill of Rights came about because of compromise. I mean, literally, the ability for those men to compromise is
what... You're pretty passionate about it, don't you?
Well, dude, that's what made this possible. That's what made America. But we have gotten to a point as a people, which I believe is strongly because of the media and because of the politicians. So you said, who is they? They is the politicians. They is the government that don't give a crap about the people and only care about their own pocketbooks and power.
The government are people.
Yeah, but they are also the people that are pulling the strings. And so when you're the people that are pulling the strings...
Well, we're the ones electing them.
I know. And that's
okay, let's take responsibility and start paying attention who we're electing.
Seriously. And realize that the reason why we are so weak right now is because of the mentality...
hold on, I got to stop you, dude, because this is... Who says we're weak?
Dude... The fact that people are willing to accept everything for face value at this point, I mean, look at all the garbage that's
But who says we're weak? I always keep hearing the media and the narrative and we're weakened. How? How are we weakened?
Here's why I would say. I actually had a conversation with...
Dude, business is better than it ever has been. It seems like everyone's got money. Louis Vuitton's got a line. I'm talking about just country-wise. Like, we've got the most powerful military in the world.
Yeah, but...
We are the number one superpower in the world still today.
But we as a people...
Well, who says we're weak, though?
We as a people...
That goes back to MAGA. Like, we're already great.
No, but
Can we get better? It should have said, make America better.
Yeah.
Great. MAB. I'm down with MAB. Let's make it better. Make America better. I'm going to run 2028 or 2032.
Brad 2032.
And I'm going to run with MAB. And you know what else I'm going to run with? Dude, I want the power to go back to the people. By that time, I'm going to create or use a technology that literally everybody votes on everything on a regular basis. Like your duty as a citizen is to vote, and the vote will be on the blockchain, and your vote cannot be manipulated, and the majority will rule. The majority, because watch this. You're from Idaho or Utah?
Idaho.
So you're up in Idaho. Now, let's just say you lived in a county, because to me, government should stay the fuck out of people's business. Like, it's Idaho's business, and guess what? It's not even Idaho's business. It's the county's business. Mm-hmm. So, like, if your county wants pot and the next county doesn't, it's not up to Idaho.
Yeah.
It's up to the county.
Yeah.
The county decides, right? So if you're in a county and you don't like what the county's decided, move to the next county, mm-hmm. and vice versa. Why can't you just do that? Like, dude, if I lived in Las Vegas and everybody here wanted to drive 10 miles an hour because we were afraid for our safety, and I'm literally in this town, and I legitimately realize that everybody in this town wants to drive 10 miles an hour, I'd move. I wouldn't be pissed. I wouldn't fight. I wouldn't picket. I wouldn't say, I have a right. I would just move.
But that's what I'm trying to get at. That's why I'm saying that I feel like we as a people, not as a country necessarily, we are still a very powerful country. We are still a strong country.
Thank you. Now we're talking turkey.
But as a people,
okay.
That's what I mean. As a people, we are much weaker. I was actually having a conversation with...
as a culture or a people?
Let's call it a culture then. Let's call it a culture. So I was having a conversation with Andy, actually, about a week ago, and I asked him the question. I said, what do you think is the difference between the people during the time of our forefathers and the people now? And he straight up said, we are pussies.
Yeah, integrity, grit is what changed.
It's not just that. It's accountability. It's
I agree 1,000% with we as individuals in a culture and a society have, I wouldn't say necessarily weak, because it can be strong just in a bad way. I just think we are now soft,
exactly. And that's what I'm getting at, is that's what I mean by that's why people are easily manipulated nowadays. That's why they, when I say they, I mean the politicians, the government, the people are actually pulling the strings, the media. That's why they can get away with the things they get away with. That's why, you know, man, I could go on for days for this stuff, but the crap that's been spewed over the last 12 months, as far as the virus and as far as safety and as far as this and as far as that, it's like, dude, open your eyes and open your ears. They were given to you for a reason. Look around and listen, and you'll see that half the stuff they're putting out on the freaking news is garbage. But people are at a point where they're so susceptible to that crap that they just believe it, and that they're fearful, and they live in that fearful state.
So if anybody's listening right now and they're afflicted with this condition, what are some ways out of it?
Out of the fearful condition?
Yeah.
I mean, dude, ask yourself, what are you afraid of? Like, what are you really afraid of right now? Are you afraid that you're going to get a virus that's going to kill you? Well, guess what? Go look at the actual numbers. The actual numbers say that this thing is no more stronger than a freaking flu. And I get it. I get that everybody wants to wear the mask because of viral load. I don't think people even understand what viral load really means.
Well, what happens when it freaking morphs into some new one and it kills even more people, and then the vaccines are worthless? You've been inoculated against 19. This is 20.
It's just crazy to me that continues to be able to be pushed.
Did you see the clip where Zuckerberg said straight up,
yes,
we've never studied the long-term effects of modifying DNA,
yes, and then,
or RNA.
Yes, and then they showed another clip of him saying the complete opposite thing once he was endorsing it. I'm
not into conspiracy. I listen to him because I like information. I like to be aware. Okay, but I don't necessarily believe everything I hear, and I don't disbelieve it either.
Yeah,
I listen to it all. Well, not all. I don't listen to negative stupidity. But, dude, if they're modifying the DNA of human beings with an injection, if that's true, dude, they're creating a new species. Do you realize, like if a scientist found a dead human, took DNA, they would scientifically be able to say this was a human being. Mm-hmm. Now, if scientists didn't know what's going on and they took some tissue from another person that took the vaccine, they would say, this is not necessarily human. This is like a modified human DNA. Like, dude, that's serious shit.
Dude, and
that's scary shit because,
yes.
dude, what is really going on with that vaccination?
And that's what, dude, it's crazy.
Yeah, but I know doctors, okay?
Yeah.
I have friends and family that have got it.
Yep, I have a lot of friends
and
that
guess
have too.
what?
They're fine.
They're not growing a third fucking boob. Okay? They're fine.
But there are a lot of people that are having a lot of issues.
I know, but then I've seen footage where they gave it an injection
palsy.
and they fucking died or their face started drooping.
Yep.
But dude, like, we don't hear about things, but when they're doing trials on vaccinations, there's all kinds of crap, like especially in Africa.
Yep.
When they test vaccinations, they go to Africa.
Well,
they shoot all these villages and people where you don't know about it, but the shit happens all the time.
Yep.
How about let's hold the pharmaceutical companies accountable, but then why would they make them? See, we got to be careful what we wish for, Ian, because let's hold those guys accountable. Well, if I'm Moderna, and I'm liable, I ain't fucking making one. All you're going to do is sue me the first time somebody has a negative reaction, and we can't figure out every human being's reaction to this shit. This shit should cause polio to go away. Okay, take it at your own risk. Hey, I think that's where it ends. Yeah. But so far, that's what's happening with this vaccine, which is why I'm not freaking out. As soon as they start mandating.
See, that's where I am too.
No, dude, they mandate, dude. It's going to get scary.
Look, that's where I am.
Literally scary.
I'm not anti-vax by any means. My wife and I are not anti-vax. We are pro knowledge of vax, I guess, is we want to know what's going on, right? We want to ask the questions. We just want to be informed. But I'm the exact same way you are. If you want to get the vaccination, great, go get it. Like, cool. That's your decision. I think it should be everybody's decision, though. That's my thing. It should never be mandated. As soon as something becomes mandated, you got an issue on your hands because nobody should be forced. And it's the same way I feel about masks. It's like, dude, if you want to wear a mask, great. If we want to become, what some of the countries in Asia have been for years and years, where some people wear masks and some people don't, cool. I don't have a problem with that. Great. But don't mandate it. I mean, dude, even coming here, I'm sitting on the plane. I have my mask on. It's one of the only places I'll ever freaking wear a mask because I have to, right? I have it on. It was probably a tiny bit under my nose, and the flight attendant came up and said, "You have to have your mask all the way over your nose before we can take off." I said, "Okay." So I did it. 5 minutes later, I kid you not, I'm chewing gum. It falls down a little bit more. They actually had one of the security people come on the plane and tell me that they were going to remove me if I didn't keep the mask above my nose, and that it was a federal offense now. And I'm like, dude, it's just getting to the point where it's ridiculous.
Well, that's petty.
Yeah. And you look around at what's happening, and it's like, if any of this actually made sense to me, this is just my take. If it made sense, cool. But none of it makes sense. None of it.
But dude, a lot of shit's never made sense. Like, for example, when you get on a plane, they tell you to turn your cell phones off.
Yeah.
Dude, if cell phones were going to fuck up a plane, they wouldn't allow you to have them. Yeah. They'd snatch all the cell phones. They wouldn't just say turn them off and hope you do. Yeah. They tell you to turn it off. It's another one of those dumb rules. It's like, you don't have to turn off. When I fly private, they don't make you turn the shit off.
Yeah.
Number one. Number two, if it was really dangerous, they wouldn't even let you have the fucking phone.
Yep.
And that's the same thing with the mask. Like, dude, first of all, most masks are not even masks. It's fucking panties fashioned into a mask. Material that's not stopping shit, let alone COVID. I mean, dude, COVID's smaller than fart particles.
Well, now you got to wear two masks.
Dude, if you smell a fart, you'll get COVID through your mask. If you can smell a fart through your mask, you can get COVID through your mask. So what's it stopping? It's not stopping anything. And the fact that my nose is out, you're telling me that my air is now toxic. My air is now toxic, but if my nose was covered,
yeah,
the air wouldn't seep in. Okay, so the air does seep in. That's scientifically proven. Okay, so if you already know that, you're just being petty.
Yes, and even consider this too. What's so funny, and I even talked to the person that was sitting next to me because they were like, "This is ridiculous." And I said, "Did you also notice that I wasn't even wearing my seatbelt? We're about to take off, and all they're telling me is put your mask over your nose. Not once did they say, 'Excuse me, sir, you need to wear your seatbelt.' Something that's actually going to protect you if we get into an accident."
When do you think the mask thing will end?
It's not going to.
You don't think it will?
Hell no. And
I do.
It's not going to. Mark my words. Anybody.
It's a new normal,
dude. They already are putting it in TV shows. My wife watches 911 It's a mainstream, I think it's a CBS TV show. Everyone in the TV show is wearing masks now.
So now we'll know celebrities by their eyes.
Dude, it's crazy, but I truly believe that it is like...
Someone will be like, I didn't even recognize the dude until he went like this.
Yeah, seriously though. Well, hey, think about it though. Tom Hardy's going to have a great career. That dude lives for just the eyes.
Who?
You know Tom Hardy? The guy that did, what's he in? Have you seen Mad Max? The newest Mad Max?
Yeah.
Or he's
Yeah, I know Tom Hardy. He's the tough fighter guy.
Dude, think about the roles that he's played. He's played Bane. He's played Mad Max. He's played the guy in
he always has a mask
Dunkirk.
on.
He's always got a mask on. He's like the best eye actor ever. But I guess I'm just, if it made sense, it would be fine. But the policies and things just don't make sense. And it's
like walking around with woolly balls. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, you got to shave them. Bro, you really threw that in there,
By the way, well, I like to earn my sponsorship. You know? Bombs is the code. Matter of fact, I'd like the bomb squad to kind of overwhelm Manscaped. Wouldn't it be cool though, like seriously, if all of a sudden this episode dropped and Manscaped sold like fucking 250,000 mowers?
I saw this episode about politics and conspiracies, and I went and bought ball shaving razors.
Dude, what about the preppers?
Food preppers?
Just preppers.
Dude,
like a lot of people call preppers crazy. Like
Yeah,
again, I don't call preppers crazy.
Well,
I think they're smart.
they
Why?
are smart.
Well, because dude, listen.
Look at
Preparation.
Texas.
No.
Look at Texas.
Preparation is smart.
Yeah.
So I don't give a fuck. Now, can you go too far? Maybe, but at least you're prepared.
Yeah.
You're going to laugh at somebody that's prepared?
No.
Not me, brother. You know, well, look at the guy. The guy's storing 7 years of food like the economy's going to crash. Dude, the economy could fucking crash. Like, dude, I would rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
Exactly. And dude, again, I said it, but you look at Texas, right? No one was prepared for that. No one in Texas was prepared for what has happened down there.
Was that manipulated weather from the government?
And could be. That's what I'm always going to say. It could be.
Well,
but
HARP's
I
real.
wouldn't be surprised. HARP is real. I would not be surprised if it was. The fact that the entire state, basically 250 something counties, was literally 5 to 6 inches of snow and freezing weather in 2 days. Some of the coldest temperatures they've ever seen. Every water pipe
I thought
bursting.
there was global warming.
I mean, dude. Yeah.
Sounds like there's global freezing.
Yeah.
Dude, here's what I like, though. Like Dave Portnoy.
Dave's the man, dude.
Yeah, like, dude, he said enough of this shit, and he just started using his reach and his celebrity to raise money for freaking businesses that couldn't fend for themselves, raised millions of dollars, and saved a ton of American companies. Why couldn't the government have done something like that? Or guess what? Bail out those. Well, we did with our bailout. Dude, that bailout was ridiculous.
They don't
The companies
care.
that I know that needed the money never got any. It was crazy, dude, because all the companies that I know that didn't need it got it.
So I have...
You know why, though? Because they had the, hired professionals to cut the line and, do things right at a certain time. Like, in other words, they had better help. But we didn't help the businesses, dude. You raised some money for a bakery up there in Idaho, didn't you?
Yeah, man. It's been really cool. We've built a community. We really have. And
you got a good community.
It wasn't just the bakery. We actually, if anybody's familiar with Joe's Cafe in Orem, he was about to close his doors, and we got enough people to go in there and raised enough money for him to not only be open until, I think October or November, but also he was able to get a billboard. He was able to get outside seating, and then that bakery, it wasn't just me. That bakery was a collective effort, a lot of people. But what was really cool is when I posted that, they had a flood of customers. And the thing about the bakery is it's not like it's in Salt Lake on the main street. It's a literal back alley little pastry shop that's been going for like 70 something years. And their biggest clients weren't walk-ins. It was like corporate events like the Jazz, right? And now all of a sudden they got cars lining the street and people walking in on foot, and they couldn't even handle the amount of people that came in. And then with the GoFundMe and stuff, I think we ended up raising like 27 grand or something like that. But it's cool because, now I even have another lady who's reaching out, and by the time this airs, we'll probably have already done this, but this lady to speak to the small businesses, she's in Guam. She had one of the most successful event businesses on the island. and she was like entrepreneur of the year and all kinds of stuff like that. When COVID went down, she lost 99% of her business. She's now being threatened to be evicted. She's losing all of her assets. And it's all because she applied for that loan and was denied. She wasn't able to get that loan for whatever reason. And now she's literally looking at being out on the street from going from one of the most successful event businesses, entrepreneur of the year.
Yeah, but why doesn't she just adapt?
I mean, well,
like, dude, if I'm in the market and I'm selling, you know, if I have a restaurant, most popular restaurant, and then, you know, something happens where, you know, whatever food I was selling is just not wanted anymore. Is it everybody else's problem to keep me in business?
Well, but what do you do for an event business though?
You adapt.
Yeah, but what? What would you
Start doing virtual events. Start figuring out how to manage all the virtual rooms. You ever do a virtual event?
For sure.
Dude, it takes like multiple computers and multiple breakout rooms and multiple, you know, literally.
We're talking like weddings,
it's almost,
though.
I know, but dude, listen, you adapt.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't disagree. I don't disagree.
I don't feel, I mean, I do feel bad for everybody, but I don't feel bad for some that just sits there and takes it and dies. Why? Well, because you sat there and took it and died.
Yeah.
Like, don't fucking take it and die. Adapt, move.
I don't disagree.
Do something else.
Yeah.
So what? You're not allowed to do what you did for 45 years. So what?
Right.
Like, it's sad. It's a bummer, but fuck it. Move, shift, change.
Yeah.
Well, it's not fair. I don't know anything else. Learn something else. Take responsibility. Don't fucking blame COVID. Like, COVID isn't a thing. It's never going to pay reparations. It happened. Move on. Next, what can I do? Well, shit, my restaurant's shutting down. No one's coming to eat. Well, let's leave it open. Well, dude, loaning the guy money to last through a quarantine or whatever you call the shutdown.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. Like, dude, he thrives when everybody's milling around. No one's milling around, and he can't afford to stay open. Well, let's freeze people's bills. Well, you can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So what do?
Yeah.
You fucking adapt.
So
you change.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's uncomfortable. Sometimes it's sad, but that's
absolutely
what you do.
And I don't disagree. And so, I mean, to go with that, in a way, I guess you'd say she's looking for the help, but her help isn't, what we're going to do is what I'm getting is we're not going to raise money just so that we can save her house and stuff. We're working to raise money so that she can support the clients that she has.
How about somebody listening that gives a shit, give her a job? There's a lot of people that are thriving that need workers. Well, again, I mean, what does she do? Like, I'll hire people if they're top of the line. She was in the event business, bro.
I know, but that's the thing. Like,
I know, but we're saving her house, right? That's because
we're saving her business.
Well, again, a business of events that may never come back. Why are you saving a business that may never come back? Get her help and adapt and help her, yes. But help her save a business just because? No, I would educate her that, hey, it might be time to look at something else. But I love event space. That's all I know. Well, pick up a book, kid. Come on, you didn't know the event space until you learned the event space.
It's true.
But you got to move, dude. And that's, again, your company, Official Patriot Gear. Where do people go buy Patriot Gear if they want it?
Officialpatriotgear.com.
Go there, folks. He's got some cool designs. A lot of people wearing your clothes nowadays. I think it's because people are bonding together through this.
That's exactly
through these
what
weird
it is.
times. And I think we should bind together as patriots because, again, patriot's not a bad thing, never will be to me. A patriot is somebody that freaking is down for your crown, right? And by the way, we're all from America, whether you're from here originally or not. If you're a citizen of the United States of America, you shouldn't be hating on it and tearing it apart and talking shit about it. You should be trying to figure out solutions to make it better.
Or any country for that matter.
Any country.
You don't
You
have
could be
to
a
be
patriot.
an American to be a patriot.
Exactly. You can be a patriot of Canada.
Yeah, exactly. And dude, that's.
And by the way, that is what it is. Has nothing to do with America.
No.
Let's get Siri's definition. Siri, define patriot.
A person who vigorously supports their country and is prepared to defend it against enemies or detractors.
That's
Do
right.
you want to hear the remaining one?
No, thank you.
That's a patriot.
Right, but that's
a
there's
patriot.
nothing bad about that.
No.
No one can convince me.
Nope. Nothing.
I don't care if it's liberal, left leaning. Like, don't they agree with that too?
Yes, they do. And that's
So that's one piece of unity we all agree on.
yes, and that's
Love our country.
That's
love the unit.
and love the people in the country, no matter what they believe, no matter what they, there are certain things that I feel like I won't compromise on belief wise, but like love the people no matter what they believe, no matter who they are, no matter what race they are, whatever. And that is the thing. That's the message that needs to be sent.
You have a message of love, Ian.
Yeah, but that's what the media and all these people don't want the message to be.
Love.
They want the message to be divide. And that's what I'm trying my damnedest to change. When people wear Patriot, when they wear this gear, it's not just about wearing, the word Patriot because I'm like Mel Gibson running into the freaking battle, right? I love my country. I'm proud to be a part of it, no matter what country it is. I love the people in the country, and I want to do everything I possibly can to make it a great country.
It is great.
And it is. Or to continue to let it thrive.
Make it better.
To make it thrive, right? To make that
country thrive. In a lot of ways.
Let's
make it better.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's make it better. And that's what will make it better. What will make it better is when people can actually realize that we don't hate each other, come together and actually... Like a Dave Portnoy, dude. Dave Portnoy is a perfect example of somebody who is starting to actually do something to make the country better, to make it thrive, and to take...
He took initiative.
Yeah.
He adapted.
Yes.
He got tired of listening and watching and bullshitting, and that's what that lady should do.
And that's...
And by the way, if we help her to save her house, dude, that's called philanthropy. I love that. However, help her save her house and then help her learn new skills or help her adapt her business in ways that may be thriving in the future.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, I believe like movie theaters, dude, they're never going to be the same again unless one thing happens. The person in control of movies makes a deal that says, I will not stream this until it is run in a movie theater for 6 months. That's the only way movie theaters are coming back.
Yep.
Dude, right now, there could be COVID. There's no such thing as COVID. I don't think people are going back to the movies if it's available on my TV like this in 5 seconds.
Nope. It's not. It's sad.
The only reason you're going there is for movie theater popcorn.
Yeah. Yep. And I think...
So if I had a friend in the movie business, dude, I wouldn't go save his theater because it's been there 30 years. I'd say, dude, let's turn your theater into a, super giant Call of Duty competition center. Mm-hmm. Let's turn it into an esports arena.
Yeah.
But let's adapt because this is over. Mm-hmm. Now, that's just my opinion, which is not always right. I would have said Crocs was never going to work.
But you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all, and I'm not disagreeing at all. I think just my focus as I've been lucky enough and blessed enough to build this community of people who truly care about others and are like trying to do their best to support and help them thrive. My message has been, let's just do more. Let's just actually try to help as many people as we can, especially these people in these businesses that had absolutely no control over what happened to them. Because I really believe that that's how we can actually make a difference. The difference starts with us. I say this all the time, but you guys have all heard the quote, be the change you want to see in the world. The reason why because dude, when I went on this show a while back, it was all about sales and marketing. It was all about what we were doing at the time, right? Everything flip-flopped when I had my little boy. Everything flip-flopped because I realized that there was a different responsibility that I had and a different focus that I wanted, which was I want to be the change that I want my boy to see in the world. I want to do everything I can to make the world a better place so that my boy can grow up in a world that he can be happy about and proud about. And again, the Dave Portnoys of the world, like those are the ones that are pioneering that change. I have another buddy in Utah too. His name is Jimmy. I don't know if you met Jimmy Rex. He's
good dude.
Super good dude, real estate guy. He started doing $100 dinner club. He goes to these restaurants every week. He gets a bunch of people together, usually really powerful and influential people, gets them all together to do kind of a networking event. At the end of the dinner, we give everybody in the restaurant $100 tip, or we give $100 tip, and then we let them split it between all the people in the restaurant, right? It's things like that
I've been doing that for years, son.
Well, there you go. But that's what needs to happen. Like it needs to happen on a much bigger scale. And I've gotten to a point now where I want to make this a lifestyle. It's, I've been blessed enough to create this community and to have this whatever you want to call it, this tribe or whatever.
Culture.
But, culture. And that's the best part is that the culture is built on what I believe to be true patriotic values, true patriotism, right?
Well, people can support you by going to officialpatriotgear.com.
Absolutely. Yep.
And ordering some cool shirts.
Yep.
There's a lot of cool people wearing them.
There is.
And Ian's a cool individual. You got a wife and brand new baby or baby on the way?
Yeah, no, I have a wife and a baby boy. He's 21, almost 21 months. And then we have a little girl on the way in June.
And now you're out running around being an entrepreneur. What are the best books on entrepreneurialism, entrepreneurship?
Jeez.
Like, what do you think? Because I got to wrap it up. If I go 2 more minutes, it'll be the longest episode in the history. So we're going to try to go 2 more minutes.
Our last one was super
What is
long
the one thing, if someone's listening, they're out there struggling? Because, dude, you literally had a job. Boom, you start a little clothing business, and it's already thriving. Now, it may have been helpful that there was divide because, Patriot. Yeah, like I'm a Patriot. And, you get that, spirit going and, it helps with the momentum.
Sure.
But, dude, you just, boom, started a biz. So, like, someone's out there, they're thinking about starting a biz. Should they?
Absolutely.
And what's the number one lesson you would give them to make sure it thrives?
So the number one lesson I would give them, and this is what has truly made this even possible, is before you try to sell a product, build the tribe. Before you try to sell any kind of product, build the tribe and make it so that product is something that tribe or that community or that culture is proud of. That they're not just wearing it because it's a product that you threw at them. They're wearing it because it symbolizes something. They're wearing it because it means something bigger than them and everybody else that's wearing it. Because that's the reason why people wear my gear. That's what I believe. I don't believe that they're just buying it because they think it looks cool or because they want to support or whatever. It's because of the businesses that we've saved. It's because of the families that we've benefited. It's because of the good that we're doing in the world that they wear that gear. So my number one piece of advice would be, if you are trying to start a business based on any product, build the culture first.
Folks, there you have it. My advice is shave your nuts. Go to manscaped.com, put in bombs as your code. You'll get 20% off free shipping. Go to Official Patriot Gear. Can they put in bombs there? Let's see if we can get some freaking patriotism going.
Let's do it. Let's do, you want to do like a 10% code?
Whatever, dude. No, I want them to pay retail, but I want them to put in bombs.
Oh, yeah.
Just so you can see, dude, we got a culture here.
Let's do bombs. Yep.
We got a tribe of people that appreciate value.
Yep.
And they appreciate contrarian viewpoints.
Love it. Let's do bombs.
Just throw in bombs, folks. It'll give you absolutely 0% off, and it'll charge you for shipping. but we'll be able to identify how many people are truly supporting dropping bombs.
Absolutely.
All kidding aside, folks, share this out, man.
Yeah.
Go give us some reviews. Go hit up Manscaped, drop in the code BOMBS, get your nuts cleaned up, get your man's nuts cleaned up, or go to Official Patriot Gear and get yourself a Patriot shirt and start freaking unifying ourselves. And whatever you do, be kind to each other.
And if you want to be a part of the community too, please follow me on Instagram. That's really where I'm at right now. Iwenster. Yep. IWENDTSTER. You got to type in the full thing though, because I'm shadow banned right now, and I probably will be when this releases.
Well, I appreciate you coming in, buddy. You're a good dude in my book.
Thanks, Brad. Appreciate you, man.
Folks, share this out, and until next time, keep it real.
Dropping bombs with the real Brad Lee. Subscribe now.